Hi, welcome back to G63 Dad. I am G63 Dad and I am here to solve your problems whilst I wait at the school run. As I said before, I have this like 30-minute wait time. I'm sure other people have got this. If you've got kids, you need to go to school, and like you get to the school, and when you get there at 3 PM, there's like 400 cars. So I have to show up 30 minutes early, because if I don't show up 30 minutes early, I can't park the car anywhere, and traffic wardens come, and they ruin your entire day. So here I am, 30 minutes early. It is 2:33 today. I am roughly on time, and I would love to spend half an hour, or 50 minutes probably, because I can't talk for half an hour, spend about 15 minutes talking about your problems, your business problems specifically. How can you fix them? How can you get your side hustle into a major business? How can you take those next steps? So that's what we're going to do. Yesterday I spoke about your sort of startup and how you actually take stuff and move it forward. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about client acquisition. I don't know how I'm going to pad 15 minutes out on client acquisition, but maybe we'll find another topic naturally in the middle. So I'll define your problem first of all as you don't know how to get clients. So why aren't you getting clients? Why are people not signing to your business? Why are they not moving forward with you, etc, etc. And there are buckets and buckets of ways to get clients. So as yesterday, I've got a standard problem solving methodology that I love to use, and the first thing we're going to do after we know what our problem is wow, that woman was doing like 45 miles per hour there on a 20-mile-an-hour road and nearly ripped the front of my car off. So that was great. Sorry. So anyway, we are going to be talking about how you measure first. We're going to measure the actual problem, right? And the measurement here is actually sort of what the implementation is as well. They're actually interlinked. So when we talk about measuring the problem, we need to measure the amount of effort that you actually are generating in order to get clients. So we need to think about channels, we need to think about assets, we need to think about marketing strategy. There's a lot of different moving parts to getting clients, and we're going to talk about measuring those first. So when we think about measurement, what do we mean by that? How many times are you trying to actually get a client? First of all, are you trying to get a client at all? Are you thinking about it? Are you just waiting for someone to email you or call you and use your service? That's not going to happen. That's not how it works. Like, if you started a brand new business, no one's going to call you and be like, oh, hi, I want to use your stuff. I want to buy your service. I want to give you money. That's literally never going to happen in your entire life. It's never happened to me. Like, it's never happened to anyone I know. It's not a thing. People don't just call you up. The yellow pages doesn't exist anymore. You're going to get someone in the yellow pages like, oh, bro, I need this guy, I'm going to hire him. I need this woman, I'm going to hire her. Like, oh great, like she's got an ad in the yellow page. It's not going to happen. So you need to think about how in the digital landscape you attract customers. Now you can start thinking about the obvious stuff like, alright, okay, I'm going to need an Instagram page. I'm going to need a LinkedIn page. I'm going to need a Facebook page. I'm going to need a page on all of these different sites. And then I'm going to need to run ads. Ads cost money. How much are you willing to spend? Are you going to spend $5 a day? You're going to spend $10 a day? You can spend $100 a day. We don't know. Then you need to think about who your target market is. So what's the targeting for that ad? Who is your target demographic? Is it a specific age range? Is it a specific gender? Is it a specific market segment by job? So then potentially Facebook's not the right place to market. Maybe if you want to market to specific professionals, you need to use LinkedIn. Maybe if you want to market to influencers, you need to use the place where they are. So you need to market on Instagram. You need to think about who your audience is and properly measure that. And once you understand the breadth and width of your audience, who your target market is, then you can go ahead and actually start to advertise to them. So the first thing you can do is run ads. Second thing you can do is give it free value and draw customers to you in that way. So let's say, for example, you start an Instagram page for your business and you're going to go ahead and start to follow people that you think would be good clients for you or that are in your market segment. So let's say, I don't know, you want to market to people who valet cars, right? And you want to sell a service to them. I don't know. I just had my car washed today, and that's all I can think about. That's how the guy hasn't dried the front of it. He hasn't actually dried it, and it's going to leave spots on, and it's going to make me very annoyed later. So now I'm going to have to dry it and like polish the bonnet. And anyway, sorry. So, but let's say you've got a car valet guy, and that's who you want to be your client. There are hundreds of car valet guys. There are thousands of them actually. How do you market to them? So first of all, you need to start following these guys, start following their pages on socials, start interacting with their content, start talking to them, start interacting with their stories, DM them, say, oh, that was a really nice car you watched the other day, like, I may bring my car over, how much would it be, blah, 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 blah. Engage with them. Maybe even go to where they are and use their service first. That way you can strike up a conversation. Network is net worth, right? So if you network with people and you do it in a relatively organic, non-salesy way, then you can start to build up a nice network and generate customers from that network. Now, this is a longer term strategy. You're not going to go out and immediately get customers on day one, potentially. But as you build this up over days and weeks, you can build up a really strong network of repeat customers, repeat business. MRR, we call that, monthly repeating revenue, or monthly recurring revenue. Like, once you get that sort of network going, you can quite comfortably set up like an MRR driven business where you are constantly getting business back because you've got a loyal customer base, all because you just networked to them. You just didn't send them like a cold DM like, oh, do you want to buy my service? There's loads of stuff you can do in that space, but you need to measure. You need to measure, like I say. And then I've sort of jumbled this up because the analysis part is figuring out if they actually need your service. So that's the next piece. So the next part is you need to look at the analysis. And like I say, I've kind of jumbled it up, but like I've went ahead of myself a little on the insights. But like, you need to then analyse, do they actually need your service? And how can you sell it to them? So looking at, okay, I've looked at this Car Valet guy, and every time I drive past, like, his lot's empty, he doesn't have many customers in, but this other guy has a queue of customers. So what is he doing that is different to what the guy that I want to market to is doing? Figure out where his weaknesses are. You need to understand what his pain is in order to actually have a discussion with him. You can't add any value if you don't understand what his problem is. And he's not going to tell you what his problem is openly because he doesn't want to admit any weakness in his business unless he's dealing with a consultant that he already deals with. So if you're trying to sell a service to someone, they're not going to openly just admit their problems unless they feel a little bit comfortable. You need to build that comfort up by engaging with them and doing all the stuff we spoke about a minute ago. Once you've done that though, you're in a position where you could be like, right, okay, so I mean, I can see just from looking at it that this is the sort of problem you might face. And understanding that if you're right, and they know you're right, they will again be more susceptible to discussion. So, oh yeah, I can see actually there's another guy up the road and he's got like 10, 15 cars waiting all the time. And you've only got a couple in it. I don't mean that in a bad way, but like, how can we get his customers to come to you? That's what we need to figure out, and the way we're going to do that is to work together. Would you agree then that working together is how we can do that? Because I've noticed it, you've noticed it, but you're not doing anything about it. I want to do something about it for you. That's the sort of conversation you want to have through your analysis of what is going on. Your analysis could also be data, it could be, you know, it could be the market position, it could be loads of different stuff, but you want to gather as much information as possible in any format you can get it, and then from that information go ahead and deliver it to the potential client in a concise and constructive fashion so that they see you're not just some guy trying to be an ass. Like, you're not coming in and just saying, oh, your business is bad. You're trying to say to them, listen, I can see that there's a way to improve your business and I'd really like to do that with you. But obviously we need to talk about that. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. Like, if you let me get involved, let's have a conversation. Let's set something up. Let's have a call we can talk through. Don't try and sell them anything at that point. Get that call engaged or get a meeting set up. You want to actually get face to face and understand what's going on. Ask a lot of questions before you offer something, because you might not be the right service provider. And I say this in my agency all the time. We take on new clients. We might not be the client. We might not be the manager for you. We might not be the people to help you, but we're going to find out. And we'll spend a couple of weeks, maybe 4 weeks working together to decide if we're even a good fit. And if we're not a good fit, we just split up and move on. If we are a good fit, then we keep working together and we make progress. But it's like, you can't always be the right fit, and you need to accept that and then deliver off the back. The next thing then is to actually implement. So you've ran some analysis and now you're going to implement something. So in terms of implementation, you need to think about how you're actually going to do the marketing. So you understand your analysis piece, you understand who your market is. How are you going to then multiply that out to more customers? How do you... So rather than implement, I suppose, rather than implement a strategy, this is more about scaling a strategy than implementing one. Because like I've sort of told you how to implement it already, in terms of, okay, so go network with them, send them, you know, engage with their content, go and actually see them, use their service before you try and sell your service, so on and so forth. Like, that is ultimately the implementation, but we should talk more importantly about scaling your operation for actually getting clients in line with your business, because if you don't scale your ability to outreach and actually get clients, then you can never grow your business, right? So I would say one of the most important things is to properly track everything that's going on, and you want to implement some sort of tracking. Now, you can do this on a spreadsheet if you want to go low tech, or you can use like a CRM where you actually track all of your customers and all of the information, the interactions you've had, last interaction, first interaction, so on and so forth. And that's what we do now, because we've got a lot of clients and we move through, so, you know, we're a much larger business than we were. But we did start with a spreadsheet, like I said, super low tech, few columns, who they are, when we last message them, so are they cold, or are they warm, or are we actually having a conversation, are they answering us, whatever. And then from there, basically we tracked all of that, and we floated the ones to the top that were warm, and we had conversation with those, and people who didn't respond to us, we just moved on. So there's no point in just constantly DMing someone or whatever if they're not going to answer you. It's a waste of time. We continue to engage with their content and stuff lightly, but ultimately it's like, if they're not going to answer you, they don't want to speak to you, so just there's no point in chasing them. It's just a waste of your time, it's a waste of their time. So constantly be looking for warm opportunities based on the sort of interactions that you have, and that doesn't need to be digital. Like I say, it can be networking based. You could go to a place, you could go to a conference, you could go anywhere realistically and actually just meet people. Interestingly, a piece of advice, a wonderful insight that I was given by a guy that I used to work for, he told me once that if you go to a conference and you want to meet the important people, walk to the middle of the room and stand there, and then the important people will gravitate around you. Stand in the direct centre of the room, and all the important people will gravitate towards you, because the important people are in the middle of the room talking to each other, and everyone else of their importance level is floating to the edge. So if you're seeing a guy standing by the wall, he probably has little to no influence or importance in that room, and he's just sort of there because he's told to be there. But the real conversations with the important people, the guys that can make stuff happen, they're in the very middle of the room. And that goes for everything. Like, if you are on socials, the ones that are at the middle of the attention pool, the ones that are getting all the views, the ones that are getting all the comments, the ones that have got all the followers, they're the important ones. So you have to be able to isolate who the important potential clients are, and then attack them in terms of actually trying to do business with them. So pretty good insight that. The guy that I used to work for taught me that, and then when I went to my next conference, I literally stood in the middle of the room, and people started talking to me because they thought I was important, because I was at the centre of the room. It's really mind-boggling, which then brings me on to how you actually grow, because one of the most important things you can do in order to actually deliver a service and get more clients is to grow your own personal brand. So become the guy in the centre of the room, and then the thing that I said at the start of the video will happen. It doesn't happen at the start of your business, but if you get big enough, it does happen. So if your personal brand is strong, your business brand is super strong, people will come to you for your service. But that's not going to happen on day one, and it's certainly not going to happen if you just started a side hustle after a conversation yesterday. You started up a brand new business. People are coming looking for you, so you need to take this advice and actually actively seek out clients. So, yeah. Now, that is almost time for me to get the kids from school. So I'm going to summarise and go back through. So the first thing you need to do is measure, like I say. You don't have any clients and you want to get some. How do you get them? You're going to measure first. You're going to measure your audience. You're going to measure where they are. You're going to measure your service type. You're going to measure everything in the playing field that is relevant. Once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and analyse what kind of actual service your clients need on a one-by-one basis. So you're looking at potential clients and you're tailoring your offer to each of those clients, like you would do if you were applying for a job and you're writing a CV. When I was applying for jobs, I would write a different CV for every job, and I would tailor it to each company, and I got an interview every single time, and it's because I took the time to actually tailor my offer. So exactly the same here. You've got a service, but you need to tailor that offer in order to get the client to buy in. Then you need to actually start doing your marketing. So you need to start thinking about, okay, am I going to deliver paid ads? Am I going to deliver cold outreach where I just email them? Am I going to DM them on a social media platform? Or am I going to interact with their content and get active and start having conversations, proper real conversations, organic conversations that they can buy into? And then, am I going to go ahead and actually go and meet them? How am I going to do that? Am I going to set up a call? Am I going to go to their place of business? Am I going to use their service? All of those things tied together will get you clients. I guarantee it, because I've been doing it for a long time and I get clients. There it is. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you go out and get a client today. As soon as you've watched this, I want you to go and start engaging with someone and try and get a client. Using my organic method, I would argue that it should take you no more than a week to get a client if you just engage with somebody on a genuine and organic way. And that's that. So they're going to come out of the school pretty soon. So if you enjoyed this, same as before, I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button and give me a follow. Get alerts whenever I'm putting up a new video. I'm going to be putting up 5 a week in terms of that school run position. So 5 a week for the school run. I might even sneak in a cheeky weekend video if I can when I'm meeting my team and give you an insight into that. That'd be pretty cool. I'd love it if you'd give me some comments about problems that you face. If you face specific problems in your side hustle, your business that you want me to think about and have a conversation about, I'd absolutely love to do that. If not, you don't want to leave a comment here, you can follow me on Instagram. I'll put my Insta and I'll put it somewhere. It may be here, it may be there, I don't know. I'm going to put it somewhere later. And then, yeah, you can ask me on there, you can DM me, whatever. But my mission here is to help small business owners develop into big business owners. That is G63 Dad's mission, and that is G63 Dad for today. Have a great day. Peace.